Hello, Stitchy. Hello, Stitchy friends. My name is Joanne, and I am the Eclectic Stitcher. Welcome to my channel. My FlossTube channel is about cross stitching. Today is Saturday, January 13th, 2024. Um, I know we are on going into week 3 of the New Year's, but guess what? Happy New Year's. Welcome. I hope everybody had a great New Year's, great Christmas, great holiday, great everything. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be back. I've been sick, and so it's kind of kept me away from FlossTube, but I'm happy to be back. Today's channel or today's video is a FlossTube Extra, which is a WIP parade. So I know that this time of year, a lot of people do WIP parades. We want to see what you're doing. I have to be honest with you that I am not a WIP parade type of person, but I know everybody likes WIP parades, and so I was encouraged to do a WIP parade so that everyone can see what I work on. Um, you know, so here I am. So I've got all my WIPs ready. They've been sitting here for the last almost 2 weeks now. So yes, I haven't really been I've been stitching, but I've been working on a special project. I'm doing a class next Saturday, um, a cube class teaching me how to turn cross stitch patterns, petites, into cubes. So I've been focused the last couple of weeks on getting those things stitched. So I've been just stitching, but those little things. Those you will not see today. I will show those probably in my video tomorrow. I am only doing a WIP parade today. My regular video will hopefully come out tomorrow morning, where I will talk about haul and plans and whatever else comes to mind. So let's get going. I don't want this to be a long video. I have quite a bit of WIPs, but I don't have hundreds of WIPs. So it should be too long of a video. Although I learned recently that I don't have enough WIPs. So, and that's going to be part of my plans, that I am going to start more projects this year. So there's a challenge out there. I'll talk about that in my next video that will come out tomorrow. But I've got enough WIPs right now. I want to get these WIPs done. But anyways, let's get going. All right. So the one thing I do want to show you as well, along with my WIP parade, is my project bag. So I don't sew, but my mom sews. And so I had bought her a sewing machine a couple years ago and said, hey, I need project bags. Now, there are a lot of people out there that do project bags, and they're beautiful. I just am particular on about my project bags. I'm not going to say picky, but I am picky. I just want my bags to be small enough where my projects fit in the bags. I don't need them to be huge or this. I mean, it's nice to have big bags for big projects, which I do have some big bags. I do have bags that I purchased from people, from bag makers. I do have, I think, one or two that were a gift. I don't remember. Yes, I have a couple that were a gift. But other than that, I make my own I don't make my own project bags. I buy the material and say, hey, Mom, here you go. And so she makes my bags, and my bags are simple. I don't like vinyl bags. I do have a couple bags with vinyls that were gifted to me, but my bags are simple. And what I do is I just go to Walmart and buy fat quarter fabrics and, with designs, and then I buy just regular plain fabric, and that's what she puts on the inside. These are the envelope bags. Now, this tutorial is the Vonna Pfeiffer tutorial. Thank you to Vonna Pfeiffer. She does a lot of tutorials for finishing and all kinds of things in the cross stitch world. So I found her tutorial to be simple enough where my mom can just, when I tell my mom I need bags, I mean, if I give her 3 fat quarters today, within a couple hours, she's got 3 bags done for me. So she's amazing. Thank you, Mom. She makes my bags, and so that's where my bags come from. So don't know that I've ever shown them on my videos, so I wanted to share those today as I went through the WIP parade. So this is my first bag. Now, my projects in my bags are not normally themed, but there are times where I will put a project inside a bag that I feel like, oh, hey, this bag will go well with this. But other than that, it's just a bag and it goes in there. Okay. But this is my first bag. Is this one? It's a cute little bag. And like I said, we keep it simple. She does put Velcro, but a lot of times I don't care for the Velcro, so I just leave it. It doesn't go anywhere and my stuff doesn't fall out. They're not perfect, but they're perfect for me. This is like an 8 by 11 size bag. So it's like the size of a paper. Let's see. Here's the paper. Almost, maybe just a little bit smaller, but that's usually the size that I like for my bags. They're perfect for me. So there's my first bag, and in this bag I have Liberty Games. Now, Liberty Games is an Erica Michael Designs chart. This, just want to make sure it's on this chart has 3 different charts in it. I'm working on the game board, which is the one that you see here. I bought this chart at the Garon retreat in 2023, and I just bought it during the retreat because I thought it was a cool chart. Really no reason. I just, when you have models out that you can see, it just kind of makes you want to buy things. So that's what happened with this. But I really like it. I am stitching this on, on a 28 count Lugana by Atomic Ranch Fabrics, and the color is Weatherstone. And I started this back in November 2023. Now, I will tell you that the other thing is I don't have these WIPs in any particular order. I have them stored alphabetically. I keep them in alphabetical order by the design, the project title. I don't alphabetize them by designer. It's more the title. And so they're not in any particular order, but I do want to tell you when I started this, because you will see that I have charts or WIPs from 2021. It's time to finish those, and I think this is going to be the year where I'm going to finish these charts. I'm going to try. One of the things that I'll talk in my next video is plans, and one of the things that I do participate in is year WIPs. And I think this year what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get all my older charts on that year WIPs thing to try to get them done this year, but we'll see. This next project is this is not a bag that was made. Actually, I just bought this bag at Goodwill. I go to Goodwill a lot, quite a bit when I go out of town. This is one of those, like, what do they call like a tablet type bag. I just saw this. I bought it, and I'm using it. Nothing special. And in that bag, I have The Forest for the Trees. Now, this was an exclusive design for Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit 2023, which is the summit that is put on by Acorns and Threads from Oregon. And so I attended their online retreat this last year, and this is by Ink Circles. And I started this just to start it. I did use this for one of my monthly acrostic challenges. And I'm stitching this on an 18 count Ada by Fiddler's Cloth. And it's just light oatmeal. This is stitched with Classic Colorworks, which is a kitted. This was kitted with the floss that Tracy provided with the chart. Don't have a lot stitched out there, but it's some. And some of these, a lot of these charts, I will get them out. They're going to be worked on. I really need to work. This year needs to be the year of getting some of these WIPs done. But I do want to start WIPs too. You know, I have been challenged to catch up to some of my stitchy friends out there. Shalene, not to mention some names, you know, and OG Stitcher, you know, they really made me feel out of place because I don't have 200 WIPs. I don't know that I'll get there. I don't want that many. I want to be able to die um, with without having a stash of WIPs. I want things to be done. Okay. This next project is on this bag, which was made by my mom. And like I said, I usually use printed fabric on the outside, and the inside I just tell her to do it plain. The other thing about my bags is I like to be able to pick the thickness of my, what do you call the inside? You know, yes, you quilters and you bag makers out there. So we've played around a lot with this. We've gotten some inserts, some stuff that it's very thin. This one's kind of flimsy, but we've upgraded our supplies, and I think we've been able to find the right interfacing. That's it, interfacing that works. I like my bags to be nice and thick, so we play a lot with that. Okay, so that's that one. And in this bag, I have my Carolyn Manning Solar Flare project. I really like this project. I have to get back to stitching on it. I really like it. I hope my lighting is okay. I don't know. It looks kind of dark. But I started this back in September of 2023. I am part of the Crafts and Books Facebook group, and they do challenges sometimes or events where they'll start like a full coverage. And so I needed a full coverage chart to join in that event that they were hosting. They do a lot of stitches so beautiful. I wasn't ready for a big one, so I decided to select this Carolyn Manning because it was small enough where I was getting a full coverage piece. I couldn't really find, I did have a couple big charts, but I couldn't find a big enough fabric, so I went with this. And this is something that we started Labor Day, and so I thought it was something to kind of join in. And I'm just stitching this on an 18 count Ada color white, nothing special. And there's that. Okay, I need to do less talking and more doing. This next project is in this cute little frozen bag. Now, I don't purchase fabric just for theme wise. I just pick whatever. I go to Walmart and I look at the fabrics they have, the fat quarters, and I just pick whatever I think it's cute. So this is my frozen bag. And we do try to match the inside to the outside, you know, the solid color. This is all frozen. I've never seen that movie, by the way. This one's different. Okay. This next chart is called The Stitcher's Wish. And this is by Stitchy Pros. And I am stitching this with my friend Shelly. I met her. She was my stitchy, my table mate at the Garon Retreat, Stitching in the Wild 2023. And so her and I decided we wanted to stitch this as a stitch along. So her and I are doing this stitch along together. And the goal was to start this in August and finish it in time to show it in our next retreat, which is in September of this year. So I'm not stitching a whole lot, so I need to really get going on this. But it will get done. This has to be done before our next retreat. That is the goal. I'm stitching this on a 16 count, no. So I started this on a 16 count Aida, but then I realized that, you know, these are Smyrna crosses, and then there's some other specialty stitches in the project. And Smyrna crosses are only fun when you're doing it on an even weave or linen. So I started this in August, but then I restarted it again in September when I realized that I would do a whole lot better with those specialty stitches on a Lugana. So I started this on a 28 count Lugana. The color is sand, and it's just by Charles Craft. Um, so that's where I am. The border is already from side to side, so I just need to bring that down, and then of course I need to work on the inside. I think words for me go quickly, so I think if I can just get that border done and that frog done, then everything else will kind of just come into play. But yes, I have to get this done because I don't want to let my friend Shelly down, because you know this is something that we created, and so I have to do my part. This next one is on this bag. This is kind of Halloween-y, so I do have a Halloween project in here. And this is what I have in here. This is Trick or Treat by Annabella's. This is from her All Things Halloween booklet. So I just picked that chart there. And I started this back in September. I am stitching this on an 18 count Aida color white, and I'm just using DMC colors. I needed, so Craft and Books started a Witchy Wednesday in August. No, yes. Started in August to go through October. And so I have picked this chart to participate. I am not a seasonal stitcher. I'm not a holiday stitcher, but I have been, since I've joined Craft and Books, they have really enabled me to start other things and kind of do different things. So this is my Witchy Wednesday project. Now, we still have Wednesday Zooms. We kept that on after Halloween. And so sometimes I will stitch those on Wednesday just because I have this one. I have another one that I'll show you. I have the 2 Halloween. And so on Wednesdays, I try to stitch on those if I can to kind of keep that Witchy Wednesday theme going for the group. Okay. This next chart this is just a bag that I got from not Michael's, oh Lord, Goodwill. So this is just a bag that I found at Goodwill. It's kind of like one of those, you know, I don't know, bad makeup bag or something. So I keep a chart here. This is another thing that I do. I don't know if I'll show this in plans, but I create these little yearly chart things. And so when I stitch on a project, I will mark what day I stitch on it. Kind of tells me how many days I stitched on it. I try to keep track. Sometimes I do good, sometimes I don't do so good. But now, this project is my oldest WIP. And it's not only my oldest WIP, but it's one that I don't really like. It's still sitting in my stash, but I don't really stitch it. I talked about this in one of my previous videos that I think I'm just going to kind of give it up, but I'm going to hold it. I'm going to hold it. If I don't stitch on it at all this year, then it might just be one of that I'll have to retire or give it away if somebody wants it. And the only reason I don't like it is because it's so confetti heavy, but it's like a weird confetti heavy. I don't know. It's just, I don't like it. It's a cute chart, but I just don't like stitching it. I started this back in July 15th of 2021. This is when I started stitching. I started stitching in June of 2021. And so I started this as a fun project. When I started stitching back in 2021, I started stitching in June when Sherry, the Colorado cross stitcher, started her summer camp. And so I participated in her June summer camp and I participated in her July. Well, when I got my July piece completed, I needed something else to stitch. And at the time, I didn't have stash. At the time I didn't know anything about collecting projects and things like that. I just had one kit. When I finished it, I picked up another kit. And so I picked this up just to kind of do in between until August started so that I could start the August challenge. So it is really my oldest WIP. July 15th, I think I've been stitching a month. So, but we'll see. It's a cute chart. I don't know. This next this next project isn't it's just one of these bags too that I got at Goodwill. Again, sometimes I just pick bags just to pick bags. There's nothing special about these. And in this project, or in this bag, we have, this is also one of my old WIPs too. But in this we have Love and Unity by Jacob the Graph of Modern Folk Embroidery. And I started this back in November 2021. Jacob started the Black Sampler November Sows November 2021. And so I wanted to participate. So I went on his website and I found this cute chart. Now, did I think I was going to finish this in 1 month? No, I think I was crazy if I thought I was. But here we are 2 years later. 2 years later, a little over 2 years later, and this is all I've got. So I need to get going. I really like this chart. I like stitching on this. It's just a big project, and sometimes, I don't know. But I'm just stitching this on a 16 count Aida white, and I am using Anchor Black for the floss. Nothing special. And there's that. But I really do like stitching on this. There's just so much stuff to work on. I can't give love to every WIP I have. This next WIP is on a gifted bag that I received from my friend Shelly at Garon's Retreat. This does have a vinyl, but she had this bag and I thought, oh, this is a perfect bag for the WIP. And the WIP that I'm using is, it's Hive Rules by Primrose Cottage Stitches. This is a long one. Hive Rules. There it is. This was their chart that came out in Nashville Needle Market in 2022. This was a release, and when I saw this, I thought it was a really cute chart. Originally, when I saw it, I thought, oh, I can make this and gift it to my sister or my friend who have smaller kids. I think it's a perfect chart for that. But I started this in September of 2022, and I'm just stitching this on a 14 count Aida by Charles Craft that I purchased at Michael's, and I'm just using the DMC colors. By the way, I don't want you guys to think that I just know all this information by memory, because I don't. When I started stitching, one of the things I like to do, knew that I needed to do, was keep track of what I stitch. At the time, I didn't know why, but I knew that there were stitchers out there that were keeping track, so I knew I had to keep track. So right away, I had to come up with something to help me keep track. And so I created this on a Word document. I had to figure out, okay, what do I need to keep track of? So I just have, project title, designer, stitch counts, your basic things. And then one thing that I do add on mine is a note, and I put on there as to my notes can be about anything, the things that I've been telling you, that it's part of a sale, or I bought it just because, or I started just because, or, I needed something for a challenge, so I started it. So I kind of write this to me is like a journaling. It is very much journaling. And so I kind of write on there as to why either I bought it or doing it. Then I just found these clip arts online, and I just stuck them on there. And then I post a picture of the chart. This is a big chart, but I'll post as much as I can. It usually has the full chart on there. For example, this one, it usually is picture the full chart, but if it's a big project like that, I just take a snippet of it, just so that I know what's in the bag. And this also works well because what I do is, now the booklet, I keep it in the bag. So when I'm on Zoom and I'm stitching with other people on Zoom, the number one question that always comes out is, what are you stitching on? And so I'm able to take this out and show them the picture of what I'm stitching. And so if they ask me any questions, I say, ooh, what fabric are you using? Well, guess what? It's all there. I don't have to think about it. It's all there. I know I've had people ask me,